Hi, welcome guys. So this afternoon, I was gonna say this morning, it's afternoon, let's be real. I thought I would do a little video that was inspired by something a couple friends and I did back in the day when we had our first YouTube channel together. Long story, but in any case, I used to do this with two other people and we had a lot of fun, and then we had to stop and it was sad. But any case, what we did a little get to know you sesh where we got together and asked each other like questions about beauty, and I found my list of questions that we had used for that video back in the day, so I dug them out. And I was like, well, why don't I answer these for you all? Because I've never done that. In the meantime, I'm also going to test out some new product that I picked up in a little mini Ulta haul yesterday for a video I'm going to record for y'all later. So I'm not going to talk too much about the product itself because this is kind of my first impression, so I can give you full reviews later. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. Hi, I'm Ashmere. I am a beauty junkie, and I love doing my makeup all the time, every time. So here, if you're here on my channel, I really appreciate you. I love to play with makeup. I love to give you my 2 cents about it. I've been in the industry for a really long time, so I love to talk about the trends that are happening. I feel like I'm just kind of finally getting back into the swing of what I want this channel to really be. So I'm just excited if you're here watching these. Thank you, because you give me a reason to keep making these. So, anywho, one of the first questions on the list is, what is my foundation coverage preference? My foundation coverage preference, so backtracking a little bit. Another reason I kind of love these as I was reading this, I remember making this video. This was almost 2 years ago. I remember making this video and I remember my answers. And my answers have almost all 100% changed to every single one of these questions just over time, because I've tried different makeup. My skin is different. I'm in a new place in life. And I kind of love that. So I'm a person who I believe in our everyday lives, just in general, like you should always strive to keep growing and becoming the best version of yourself you can be. So I'm always looking to expand, to grow, to try to understand myself, why I'm here. I didn't mean to get so deep. But, you know, it's important to me to know what kind of motivates me so I can try to stay true to myself, but also I want to be a good human. You know, I'd like to hopefully, if I'm lucky, have kids someday and try to be a good human for them. And, you know, so it's important to know what motivates you and why you're motivated to do things. And just as with everything in life, I feel like preferences change, and that includes makeup. And so it's so interesting, something so trivial as makeup and my preference into what I like as far as coverages and colors is really kind of motivated by where I am in my life. So that being said, I'm very much into, I want to say that at one point in time, for a very long time, I would have said my favorite foundation coverage is a full coverage. I spent a lot of time hiding my skin as much as I could because I do have, you know, freckles. I have sun damage, you know, you name it. And I thought I needed to just block that out. And the way to look my best was to have full coverage makeup on that just made my skin look super flawless. And I have so come almost a full 180 on that. I am now the person who loves a sheer coverage, a sheer tint. Um, I want my skin to look like my skin. I want people to be like, oh my God, your skin looks good, not your foundation looks good. Um, so that's where I've come. So it's interesting because I have such a big collection of makeup, and you can you can tell that I lived in a full coverage world for a really long time by looking at my collection. And we're going to get to some of those foundations. I'm going to have to use them soon because that's the whole point of these videos to start, is shopping my stash and getting through some of my product. So it's going to be interesting for me now to use product that I bought, a year, 2 years, 7 years ago. I have some old foundations. They should probably be tossed, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. Look, I am not ashamed of the fact that my collection has some old stuff. Guys, I just shopped in the original Naked palette that we all know I purchased back when it was new. So, just putting that out there. Yeah. I have no shame in how old some of my makeup is, and if I end up, hey, if it makes me break out, then we know I gotta throw it away. So that was a very long-winded answer to a very short question. Sorry, not sorry. What's my favorite makeup style? This is kind of a loaded question. I'm not sure that I have a particular style that I love anymore. And the thing is they rename them every couple of years anyway. Like, what was it this year? It was not emo girl. I love emo. Was it trash girl or dirty girl? Something like that. Like, that was what they named a makeup trend that it was like we've all known. It was the girl who looks like she's not together at all, but really secretly has it everything together. Blah, blah, blah. So I don't know how to answer this question anymore, because every 5 minutes, an influencer or a website or something has decided to name a new style of makeup that has existed for 8 million years something new. So I'm going to plead the fifth on this one and instead move on to the next one, which is what's my favorite makeup era. And this is one answer that has not changed. I'm obsessed with 40s era makeup. I love the porcelain skin, just flawless complexion in general. Like, you look like a doll with, rosy cheeks and a beautiful lined eye and just a red lip. Like, there's classic. It doesn't matter what skin tone you are, what hair color you have. You can wear a 40s style inspired look and look beautiful. And I love that. It's 100% something I adore. I don't do it often. I think maybe I'll do it today. I have a new red lip I'm gonna try. Maybe. It is my absolute favorite makeup era. I just think that style, it's timeless. We can all say it was the 40s, but then you wear it and everybody just thinks you look amazing. And it's not about a bunch of shimmers or highlighter or anything. It's just about the beauty of the face and the beauty of the structure of your face. That's what makes it so stunning, is it's minimal, but it plays up what everybody has, which is, everybody has a beautiful feature on their face, and you can just, you can do that with that look. So anyway, is there any makeup that I can't leave the house without? Hundo P. There's a lot of makeup that I can't leave the house without. I think number one on my list is brows. Look, it took a lot of like talking to myself when I decided to start doing these videos again, of being like, okay, well, I'm gonna have, like, it just makes sense to start without makeup on. I could like just have my makeup on and talk to you guys, but I don't know. I think that loses something. I think the fact that you can see the transformation on my face from zero makeup to what I look like once it's on, is a little more impactful than just my makeup's on. You never see me without it. Um, but I think that also like comes with age. I'm more comfortable in my own skin without makeup on now, but that doesn't mean I leave the house without any. So brows are my number one. I always put brows on before leaving the house. And I think a very close second is actually lip gloss. It used to be mascara. I used to be all about the eyes. Like I had to do brows, eyeliner, and mascara, and then I would leave the house. But now it's, I think, lip gloss. I think there's something about really juicy, soft looking lips that is attractive on anybody. And I think it's just beautiful. Not only that, like it's protective. So if it's cold outside and I have a lip gloss on, at least, you know, I'm protecting my lips or I'm keeping them moisturized, which is nice and exciting. Not exciting. It's just, it's nice. To prime or not to prime, that is a question. Well, so here's the thing. It depends on what we're talking about, right? So as far as face primer, do I believe primer actually does something for your skin? Not really. I'm not, like, to be honest, I don't. I think there are good primers out there, as you know, especially if you have an underlying complexion concern, you know. But do I really think they're necessary? I don't. Um, I really don't. Most of the ones I have received either like in a BoxyCharm, like I didn't pick them out, or they were gratis to me or gifted from other friends. I don't, I very rarely buy a primer. I just don't see the point in them. I don't think they really do anything. And then forget eye primer. I never wear eye primer. Actually, I can tell you the last eye primer I used religiously was way back when Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer was still in the little potion, like genie in a bottle kind of bottle. Not, you know, now they have the squeeze tube and you untwist it and it's got the wand. But back in the day, it wasn't a squeeze tube. It was like a little bottle and you unscrewed the wand. And I owned Urban Decay's primer potion in the Original Sin, I think was what it was called. Original Sin. And it was the one that was gold. And I would wear that all over my lid every single day without fail, with nothing else on it. I literally used it as my eyeshadow. And I loved that primer. But that is the last time I used an eye primer religiously. How often do I shop for beauty? Wow. So my answer to this actually remains the same. So this question is twofold. How often do I shop for it and how often do I pull the trigger are two very different answers. So how often do I shop for beauty, as in open an app, scroll, look for something I may be interested in? It used to be daily. I honestly, that has changed. I don't do that daily anymore. You know, but it's a few times a week for sure. I love scrolling the apps. I love seeing what's available. I love seeing anything new. So, but I think I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I feel like the industry has moved into in a way that it's a little too like there's a little too much always going on. We need some downtime in between launches of things. Like my pocketbook needs a minute to recuperate. Sometimes I just want to get essentials. And with brands constantly trying to reinvent the wheel and give me something new to purchase, it's become, it's gotten to the point where I don't want to look anymore. Like, what Hip Dot literally launches a new palette, like what, every week? Good for you. That was exciting back when ColourPop was doing it when they first started. Um, you know, but now just like with ColourPop, my interest has waned. Like I saw the Hip Dot Monopoly palette and I love Monopoly. Like you don't understand how much I love the game of Monopoly. And I saw this palette and I was like, well, obvi, I need it. And then I went, I had to place an order. I I don't need it. Like it just makes it so difficult to really pull the trigger because there's just always something else. Cuz then it's like, well, that's great now, but next week there's going to be something. What if what comes out next week? So I'm constantly sitting here going, I don't want to. Nope, my $50 could go to something else. Nope, my $30 can go to something else. And eventually I just stop buying. It's horrible. I really wish, um, I really wish brands lines would kind of revert back to what it used to be in like the early 2000s and 2010s where like you had launch seasons, like you always knew the Mac fall launch was going to happen. You always knew there was going to be something exciting, at certain times of year. So you knew, God, remember when like the whole thing was like Clinique gift with purchase? Oh my God, it's Clinique gift time, and everybody had to go and buy their 3 pieces to get their freaking gift that was the same every single year, but you still got it anyway. I grew up on that gift, by the way. That gift, it was the beginning of my obsession with makeup. But anyway, like, I wish brands would hold back, tone it down. I understand that we are in an inflationary period, that consumers need to be pulled out of their shells. They need a reason to go to the store and shop. But I think it's backfiring. And quite frankly, I think it's backfiring. I think most of us, speaking as a total junkie, I think most of us are overstimulated and going, just stop. Just stop. I don't need another new, when you can only buy so many palettes, and I don't think anybody's a stan for any particular brand anymore. I know there isn't a brand anymore that I'm like, they come out with something, I gotta go buy it, because every brand feels like they're doing the same thing. So yeah, I think we're overstimulated. It's done. And I feel like brands would be really smart to pull back a little bit and do things that are special. And I think if a brand pulls back and learns and has, and can do this, I think they will thrive. I think if a brand figures out how to, meet their minimums, like get some cash flow, whatever they need to do financially to make it happen and hold back on some launches, and then launch something really special a couple times a year and establish that, hey, we're only going to launch a couple times a year, I think that would make a difference to the consumer. But right now it's like every week, every 5 seconds. And that's driven, I 100% blame the retailers, right? Because you've got the Sephora, the Ulta, the Target, they're all competing against each other. Ulta wants something new in their catalog every single week. And the manufacturers, like brands, are pushed to bend to the demands of the retailers. It's the name of the game, right? So Ulta, Sephora, like, slow your roll, dude. People need to replen. So maybe you need to focus on replenishables. Maybe the story needs to be, hey, we still got your tried and true. Come in and get your eyeliner that you need. Because at this point in time, I'm really looking at my collection and going, there's nothing I need. There are things, unless I run out of something, like I run out of a black eyeliner. And at that point, all I'm interested in is, does the store carry the black eyeliner I need? That's going to get me in the door. So, yeah, I don't shop for beauty as much as I did once upon a time. And I don't think anybody needs to. I honestly, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens in the next year. Because things are getting tight. Like, I'm watching my budget all the time. I'm making sure, like, hey, if I don't really need it, I'm not buying it. Because, things are getting expensive out there, makeup included. And it'll be very, very, very interesting to see what brands actually play that up. You've got your budget brands, your Essence, your e.l.f., your Wet n Wild. But even e.l.f., like, their average price point has shot up so much in the last few years. It's changed dramatically. And I think those brands that can keep giving us value are really going to weather the storm much better than the other brands out in the world. So, sorry, that was a lot. That was a lot. I have a lot of thoughts on this topic. I think the industry as a whole is in trouble. I think, in my personal opinion, I believe beauty is a recession-proof industry. But even in a recession, even within the industry, there are some players that are going to fall. And we all know, like, I think economics is always talking about things that are too big to fail, airlines too big to fail, banks are too big to fail. Within cosmetics, there are those brands that are too big to fail. Like, if L'Oreal goes under, that would be huge for the industry. Like, that's incomprehensible. If you look at all of the brands L'Oreal owns, if they fail. So, like, that's what, when Becca went out of business last year, I was like, what the heck just happened? Because they were under the L'Oreal umbrella. That just doesn't happen to a L'Oreal brand. Sorry, future Ash hopping in here. Becca was not under the L'Oreal umbrella. Becca was under Estee Lauder. Still the same concept, so I'm not too mad at myself, but I'm really annoyed that I got that wrong. So, Estee Lauder, too big to fail, right? I will be very interested. Estee Lauder doesn't own any mass brands. They are all prestige. It's going to be really interesting in the next year as people tighten their budgets. What happened? The only entry-level budget-friendly brand under the Estee Lauder umbrella is Clinique. And Clinique isn't really entry-level anymore. I mean, on some level, you have mass brands that are at Clinique prices now, sure, but those mass brands are at the top. They're exiting mass now. They're like, that's not where, so I'm just saying, gonna get real interesting, and I maybe should do a whole video about that because I have lots of things to say. Real quick, while I'm thinking about it, very quick update on these nails from Shein. You will see I broke one, and this one is now split. We are going on day 3 of having these on, and they do not last. So I take back my thumbs up for the $1.50 nails. They just split everywhere. Like, I mean, it's my right hand. I'm right-handed. It's my most used hand, but yeah, they split. What do I love most about beauty? I love that beauty makes me feel beautiful. I think the beauty industry gets a bad rap. I think makeup gets a bad rap. I think that in general, most people would like to take a high and mighty approach to the beauty industry, and I won't do that. I love beauty products. I love what they do. I don't think they send a bad message, you know. I think what sends a bad message is bad players within the industry. But to be quite honest, like doing makeup, doing what I do, like I can paint a face, but I can't paint on a piece of paper for the life of me. I can draw a cat eye on anybody, but I can't draw a cat. You know, I I can draw this arch on my brows. I can do my lips. I can do other people's. But this is my art. This is what I can do with my hands. Knowing how to manipulate these products and these brushes, is a way that I can express, beauty and how I see the world. I love doing makeup. I love doing makeup on myself. I love doing makeup on other people. There's nothing more satisfying than when I do makeup on a friend and then they go, oh, they're excited about what they see in the mirror. They were nervous before, but then they get really happy. They still look like themselves, but they're like, oh, I never would have thought to do this color on me. This looks really good. Or I never would have thought to, enhance my cheeks or enhance this. And when you can show somebody how you see them, it's a beautiful thing. And I think that's what makeup does for us. I know that's what it does for me. When I put my makeup on, I put my best foot forward. And this is how I see myself in my mind's eye. When I take my makeup off, I go, oh yeah, that's me, that's cute. And I'm comfortable in who I am. I don't look at myself with no makeup and go, ugh. But when I put my makeup on, I go, this is me. This is who I see, and when I see myself in my head, and that makes me feel beautiful. And I don't think I wear a lot of makeup. I have in the past. I don't anymore. I don't think I look all that different. I mean, maybe with a red lip I do, but I don't think I look all that different with no makeup on. But I like that it makes me feel well put together. It makes me feel beautiful, both inside and out. So that's what I love about the beauty industry as a whole, is it allows you to express to the outside world how you see yourself inside of you. So yeah. The last question I'll do, because I love this. What's the most important beauty advice I can give? Smile. I know it's so stupid. It's so cheesy. But smile, it makes you feel better when you're smiling. You can be having a crappy day, but if you consciously think about smiling, it brightens up your whole face. And then it lifts everything up. So you're looking for a cheap way to give yourself a little facelift? Smile. Because it's going to pull your cheeks up. It's going to pull your eyebrows up. It's going to do everything. So it's a cheap beauty trick. It's easy to do. Everybody can do it. And when you're happy people are beautiful people. It's true. Doesn't matter what you actually look like. When you're happy, it's a beautiful thing to see, because people can see, they're not just looking at the physical you. They can see something else. So anyway, this took a whole different turn. So if you joined me and you hung out for this entire thing, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I just thought I'd answer some questions and talk about some topics that interest me and get ready today. And I thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in my next one.